Welcome back, my gamers. Once again, we are here with another battle replay. Real quickly before we get into this, just like to get the formalities out of the way. If you would like to take part in one of these battle replays, I do them over on my streams on DLive. So if you would head on over to the channel, there is a link in the description. Be sure to give me a follow, and then you know when I go live, and you can take part in one of these. Alternatively, you can join the Discord, and if you keep an eye on the announcements channel, then I will, of course, always let you know when I'm going live on there, and you can head on over and completely wipe the floor with me in these battles. So today we have the Wood Elves versus the Warriors of Chaos, me of course playing as the Wood Elves, and I believe it is Dixby Flopping again playing as the Chaos Warriors. So this is a pretty interesting matchup here because he has a lot of fire damage. He has a fire spellcaster, he has the Soul of Damnation Hell Cannon, which does massive explosive magical damage, and the Wood Elves here, yeah, they're going to suffer an incredible amount, but I just went for the complete range spam. I am going with a bunch of Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, and I believe, yep, it's all Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. My front line is 4 units of Wildwood Rangers. I'm being led, of course, by Orion with a Life Spellsinger. I have a singular Treeman, a singular Wood Forest Dragon, and 2 units of Hawk Riders. My adversary over here has a bunch of units of Chosen Halberds, a couple of Dragon Ogre Shagoffs. He's been led by Kholek Sun Eater, has a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. Of course, he has that Soul of Damnation that I mentioned before. And in the back here, he's tried a little sneaky tactic of a couple of Marauder Horsemen, but unfortunately, I was able to spot them very quickly and kind of set off some units to deal with that. So as we begin the battle here, I start to move my Glade Guard, not Glade Guard, I start to move my Wildwood Rangers up, sorry, can you tell I never play the Wood Elves? And I also move my Glade Guard, Starfire Shaft, see, I was kind of right, up here into a defensive position, because I know Kholek's going to charge in, that's his entire gimmick. And I start to move my Hawk Riders up, but I was like, actually, you know what, I see something over here. So I take 1 unit of Hawk Riders and my Forest Dragon and send them over to take care of these guys. They're going to have no problem taking those out. You know, these guys, they've got pretty good range damage, and the Forest Dragon is going to annihilate them. Moving up there is their Fire Spellcaster, and he gets some fantastic cast off. I cannot even deny. I try and fire at him with all of my Wildwood Rangers. Not my Wildwood Rangers, they're the... Oh my god, guys, I can't do it today. I try and fire it over my Glade Guard, but unfortunately managed to get that cast off. And look at that, over half a unit of Glade Guard gone. Another quarter there, another quarter there, quarter there. And somehow, it's like it's magnetized to my units. It completely eviscerates them. A beautiful cast there, so much value, and it instantly roots one of my units, and it's very painful. Hits the Treeman also a little bit, but he's not too perturbed by that whatsoever. So now my Wildwood Rangers are moving up. A couple of units taking care of the Dragon Ogre Shagoff and Kholek. 1 unit taking care of these Halberds, and another unit taking care of the other Dragon Ogre Shagoff. Now again, they're not going to kill the Dragon Ogre Shagoff. They're literally just there to fire at them. Like these... to pin them down so that these guys can fire. There we go, my other Glade Guard have returned. So these guys have magical, not magical, they're fire attacks. So it's going to be doing a bunch of damage there. It's also armor piercing, and they have a bunch of range and ammo. And so these guys, they're feeling the pain. Dragon Ogre Shagoff is getting absolutely annihilated right now. All these large targets. Kholek Sun Eater has been focused by 4 units. I'm really pretty much ignoring this guy and sending the Treeman off to deal with him. I believe Orion is also focusing his fire onto Kholek Sun Eater and taking a massive amount of damage. And he's also getting a cheeky cast over on these guys over here, because I noticed they weren't really doing anything. Picks up a few kills, does a good amount of damage. As you can see over here, the Forest Dragon is taking out those units with ease, and the Hawk Riders are quickly going to root these other Marauder Horsemen. My Spellsinger of Life, I kind of forgot about her, and then I believe I use her to cast some life regeneration spells on these guys once they get back into range of all of my other units. Now the Fire Spellcaster coming in for another pass. He was kind of trying to slow down my Hawk Riders over here. In fact, the entire Doom Cannon was focusing on them for quite a lot of this battle, which is an excellent thing for me, because I can just, you know, keep moving them around, and he's not really going to get that much value. Sure, he's going to kill them here and there, but that's a lot better than him taking out all my ranged infantry that's doing a bunch of damage. And there it is, that second cast, absolutely annihilating that unit. Fortunately, I managed to notice in time and move them up a little bit sooner than I did before, and then managed to survive and just about stick around with a bunch of spells. We've got Regrowth and Earthblood coming up on both these units here, just trying desperately to keep them in the battle. In the midst of all that, I'll just quickly slow this down because it's going quite quickly. I managed to root both Dragon Ogre Shagoffs and Kholek Sun Eater, and they are running away right now. Kholek and 1 Sun Eater have now regrouped and are rallying. The Chosen Halberds, they're not picking a good fight there. They're going against basically great swords. I know they said glaive, but it's basically the same as great sword, right? It's pretty much the same thing. They're doing the same amount of damage, just without their bones versus infantry. 2 units on 1 versus the Chosen Halberds. Yeah, That's no contest right there. What I'm trying to do now is focus Orion on taking out this spellcaster because he's caused me all sorts of trouble. As you can see there, finally get the tag on him, and he's going to be trying to take him out as quickly as possible. The Doom, what is it called? The Hell Cannon, the Soul of Damnation thing. I'm struggling with my words today, guys. I'm sorry. He's now firing onto my infantry, so I'm like, okay, Hawk Riders, you now need to start firing on him and just try and whittle him down as quickly as possible because he is unbreakable, so we need to kill him as fast as we can. Some units of my Glade Guard are also now starting to focus on the Fire spellcaster because I'm sick of him tearing my units to pieces. It's very offensive. I really don't enjoy it. But there he goes, casting yet another fire cast into all of my ranged units. That's exactly where I should be casting them. He is trying to cast them on some health units, and a fantastic cast there. He gets so lucky with this. It follows them as I move them forward to run away, and then I move them backwards, and they just end up running back into it. It's very painful indeed. It upsets me, but there's some great cast. Look, 156 kills on that spellcaster. Good lord. He's managed to root like 3 of my units this time. And he's getting yet another cast on. Oh god, these guys, they're getting absolutely punished. But you know what? We've got enough value out of them that it's not really starting to matter. All the units of Marauder Horsemen are now rooted, so I just need to pay attention to these Hawk Riders and move them back. The Forest Dragon is moving back in to try and assist with what's going on over here. Kholek is trying to move back in, along with this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth in just a moment. But, you know, I have all these range units just waiting for him to get into range so I can absolutely slaughter him. I'm now moving 4 of my Glade Guard up to try and deal with this clump of infantry over here because I can just fire in there, can take a bunch of magical and explosive and armor-piercing damage into all these guys. But I noticed at last second, you know what, these Chosen Warriors, they're sticking around a bit too long, so I just fire into the side of them. They instantly completely disintegrate. Kholek going for one last valiant charge into Orion, trying to take him out and do a little bit of leadership damage, but it is no use. I have 2 units of Starfire Shaft Glade Guard firing into him, and he's taking a massive amount of damage, and he is absolutely slaughtered there. Now Orion is focusing his last shots onto this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth that's coming up. It's not that large a threat because, you know, it's at low health. It's going to get slaughtered by all these ranged infantry anyway, but I'm just like, you know what, just get rid of it. I don't want it to come back. I don't want to even look at it. Now I'm moving the Forest Dragon over here to try and attack the Soul of Damnation, but all of these Chaos Chosen, they're trying to move up to try and defend it, try and shut down these units, but it's just no use. Charging into Wood Elves like this is near impossible. Again, the Wood Elves are one of those factions I've never really played, but good lord, I got so much value out of their ranged units here. I'm very glad that I decided to commit to the whole ranged gimmick. Now, one of my units is rooting, but I believe it comes back just because, you know, there's not really anything to run away from. There's not really any threat. At this point, the only threat is this the Soul of Damnation, because everything else has broken from army losses, and of course it's unbreakable, so I had to pretty much Control A and right click on this thing just to try and get rid of it as soon as I can. But yes, it was a pretty I wouldn't say it was evenly matched, because no, not in the players, because of course it's evenly matched. I'm terrible. But I think the faction, I just managed to pick an excellent faction that countered the exact build he was going for. You know, he went for a lot of large, so I just went a bunch of ranged units. And I know that when I'm playing against people, they really like Kholek Sunny, because why would you not? So when I go against someone that's playing Chaos, 9 times out of 10, I'm just thinking, well, 9 times out of 10, well, 2 times out of 2 that I've played it, I'm thinking, you know, I'm just going to bring a load of range and I'm just going to shoot him to death. And there's not really that much you can do about it. Yes, that was an excellent battle. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed the Wood Elves. So let's get into the stats. So as you can see here, my Lord and the Spellcaster didn't really do too much, didn't get too much value there, but they did a massive amount of damage, especially Orion, and the Spellcaster was only really there to, you know, cast some life replenishment spells, because I knew my units were going to take a bunch of damage. And, you know, as you can see here, the Wildwood Rangers, they got a moderate amount of damage, but they really weren't the driving force of this army. They got, I can't do maths, that's about 20, so that's 40, and then 90, so about 100 kills between them, so I'd take that. That's pretty much those 2 chosen halberds that they decided to bring. My Glade Guard here with Starfire Shafts, not really that many kills, but as I keep saying, when you are going against large targets, you don't need kills, you just need damage, and they did a massive amount of damage. They killed Kholek, both his Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, and they did a massive amount of damage to the Sorcerer, to the Chaos Sorcerer of Fire. And of course, when we were charging down that Hell Cannon, they were doing a bunch of damage to these Chosen. They got basically no value. They didn't even really take that much damage. They just rooted before they could really do anything, because they, you know, all their army was dead and they didn't really have that much hope of coming back. Now the Forest Dragon, I could have got more value out of it if it was breathing into the side of all that melee clumps that we had at the start, but I wanted to take out those Marauder Horsemen, and I'm very glad I did. They only got 7 kills between them, whereas my Hawk Riders and the Forest Dragon got about 50 there, so that took both of them out quite handily, and fortunately, because they were at the side of the map, they got rooted and immediately walked off, and it was very beneficial for me indeed. The Tree Man, again, not getting too many kills because he was going against large targets, but 15 kills, very respectable there, and I'd say that went very, very well for me indeed. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this battle. Quickly, once again, if you want to take part in these battles, I know I keep saying it, but you know what? I'm just going to keep saying it so that you hopefully do it. If you want to check out these battles, I do them live on stream over on DLive. There is a link in the description. Be sure to head on over there, give the channel a follow. I'd appreciate that very, very, very much. I try and do them as regularly as I can, about 2 hours a week. But you know, it's me, so sometimes it goes a little bit wrong. But yes, if you don't want to make a DLive account, that's very fine. Just head on over to Discord, because, you know, if you don't have Discord and you play games, I don't know what to tell you, man. But head on over to Discord and be sure to join the server, and I let everyone know in the announcements channel when I, you know, upload a video, go live, anything like that, so be sure to keep an eye on that. And you can head on over to a stream, and all you have to do, just sit in the stream, wait for me to announce the password, and then try and get in. I tried to get different people in each battle, so I tried to go against the same people. It's just we had a little bit of technical difficulties this stream, so I ended up going against the same people quite a lot. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a like. If you didn't, be sure to leave it a dislike and a comment. Tell me what you didn't like, what I could improve, and I would appreciate that very, very much. If you want to see more content like this, some battle commentaries, guides, Monday videos are kind of, you know, whatever I'm feeling, lists, not quite top 10s, but I tried to make them at least humorously entertaining as I possibly can with my very limited charisma. But yes, be sure to subscribe if you want to see anything like that. I would appreciate it very, very, very much. But yes, I believe that concludes everything from me. So for now, I've been Colonel Damneders, and I'll see you next turn.